Good. Okay, this is February
25th,
2025.
It is 12:33,
and
the regular meeting of the Sustainability Committee.
And
We are at
City Council Chambers at 1123 West Lake Street, Sandpoint, Idaho. We'll go ahead now and roll call. We'll start right around the room here.
Mary Wilkos.
Pam Duquette, Katrina Pielli.
Diana Dude.
Catherine Keeney.
Deborah Dickerson.
Okay, and then did Christine get online yet, or no? Okay. Okay, it's time. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our January 28th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve.
Moved and seconded. Any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion's passed. Okay, we'll go on now to the old business, and that's to kind of discuss the parking management plan, downtown off-street parking that was presented last week. That we'd start with that and just kind of get some feedback and some discussion on it.
Well,
It was Christine, I think.
it's been very interesting talking to people in town about it. And hearing what people think is going on versus what's actually going on.
Agreed.
I heard about how we're selling City Beach and it's being privatized, and it was a little disappointing. But I thought it was a great presentation. I liked the adjustments that were made. Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing how distorted, like, just, yeah. I didn't get into any arguments though, so I did okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Christine said she's trying to get on. She's having problems.
Just gonna say it's gonna change. It's not
Yeah, it's not done yet.
not a plan.
No, just
But just a proposal.
Right.
or a part of the parking plan.
Just
I think it's, oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, they're just trying to come up with a solution to the problem.
Right.
I think it's really good because we're already, I mean, Sandpoint residents are paying for the
Yep.
upkeep.
Yep.
And I think that it's mostly out of towners that are complaining about having to pay, but they're not paying for the upkeep and maintenance now.
Like county residents.
Spoken like a city resident.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was helpful to get the presentation, and if it changes significantly before the final, it'd be nice to revisit that.
I'm sure they
before.
will.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of changes before.
I think it should be higher, the price, personally. And I even went so far as to thinking, well, if there are individuals that really cannot afford it, maybe people can donate a parking pass.
That's a good
Or-
idea.
You should bring that up to Jason. Absolutely. He's super
It's a good idea.
receptive of
That's a good
like,
idea.
what do I want to call it? Like
Ideas.
constructive criticism for it. So any and all good ideas, not that anybody has bad ideas, but like constructive ideas. She's
that's
welcome
great.
to,
That's a great one.
rather than people that are just like,
Comments.
yeah, and I mean, he tries to be receptive, but it's just a lot of.
Well, the worst part about it, I think, is the comments are usually always negative. Instead of
Yeah.
positive,
Mhm.
here's some idea.
Exactly, rather than trying to come up with like a good, like, okay, if we're going to do paid parking, like, what are some good ideas rather than just. Yeah,
Open up the city to golf carts and four-wheelers, 4x4s and things like that, and then you don't have to worry about going to the city beach. Because
yeah.
you can go down by your golf cart.
Exactly,
We have
just
one.
close off all the streets from Pine
Close off the street.
over to Larch and just make them only accessible by golf cart and
Yep.
No,
yeah. It'll just fix everything.
All right, so any other discussion or shall we move on down the agenda?
Thanks for keeping us on task.
We talk about sustainability. We keep designing everything for cars,
Mhm.
and cars aren't sustainable. So, I think we need to throw some other alternatives out there to really look at. Jason and I have had this discussions for the last 4 years.
Yeah, and there's a case study in Louisiana, a town in Louisiana, where they made certain areas that were multi-use areas, like both residential and businesses. And their businesses actually shot up when they made it not car accessible and only walkable. So the amount of money, revenue that the businesses were taking in shot up by, I don't know, tenfold. It was pretty amazing because more and more people wanted to walk in that area and go to that area. So the businesses were making more money.
I did go to two downtown business meetings and approached them on, and they were all very receptive, actually. Because that's what I think people will say. It's Wednesday, let's go to Sandpoint. It's a walking Wednesday, you know. It's a good idea.
That's what, in the larger metropolitan areas like Phoenix and Seattle, they have outdoor malls areas that are designed to be more of an experience, the whole thing. There's no cars within them. And it's just like that.
I think we could get it
People like
going.
going to that.
Well, our sister city up at Nelson, the best day that the merchants have that own businesses along Baker Street, the day they close it off at the city arts crafts fair. That's their best business day of the year. And they have to walk.
The only thing I'd flag is the comp plan talks a lot about the shifting demographics in and around Sandpoint. And I would just sort of echo some of the themes under there that a lot of the folks that are moving in are a bit on the older side. And there's also the income disparity of the folks that are moving in versus those that are out, and just wanting to be mindful of the solutions and kind of what that looks like in terms of the density and how the city is changing.
Well, I think that's why we need to keep constantly looking at addressing the vehicle, or do we address more public transportation? Look at the cities down in Arizona that they don't have cars, they have golf carts, that's all. And people get around very easily and you know, nowadays they make them with covers on them and everything else. And take a look at Charlie Parrish and his little car that he bought years ago that you can squeeze 2 people in, but it takes up only a half a parking spot. I think that that's some of, you know, when we look at really the sustainability of where we want to go in the future, that's something we really need to be looking at. That you know, it won't be long and gas cars are gone, be electric cars. And here again, a parking plan that doesn't address electric vehicles hardly.
Right.
So those are things that need to be encouraged because that's changing. After 60 years, they're finally figuring out that hydrogen actually works very well to power cars. And Mercedes had that figured out in the 50s.
So I just want to say Christine is here. Hi.
Hi.
She did make it.
Yeah, I tried. I had trouble. Use Zoom on my iPad yesterday.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Muted.
No, she's not
You
muted.
can't mute, we just
No.
can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
No,
She's muted herself.
no, there's no microphone now. She muted and then unmuted.
She needs to allow access.
Yeah, to her mic.
Computer
Yeah, it's her.
to use the microphone. She's not muted.
It usually prompts you. Usually.
Do we move on to the
Yeah.
next discussion item?
Yeah, if there's no more discussion on that, it's just, the one thing about it, the discussion we have on that and the input that we have right now, Jason will see it. So
Yeah.
that's why I put it on there to follow up on that meeting so that we could provide some positive input for him on ideas, just like charging more.
And my other idea, or the other thing that I thought about that was maybe making it free to those with a disability, because if there is somebody that needs to park up closer and then they're going to the beach, we don't want to have them worry about updating their parking space, right? So that would be another, because that's been a big cry too, that, you know, people with a disability may have issues with having to move their car.
No, those are good points that I think really need to be looked at, because you don't want to lose that city beach, and it's probably one of the biggest assets that Sandpoint has. Okay, then, no, there's no further discussion on that. We'll move on to the next item of old business, and that's to discuss what we've been talking or looking at on the comp plan chapters of what needs to be looked at, sustainability perspective. And I know people have been working on that. I think it's one of those ones that it's probably an ongoing basis for a while forward. Any comments on that part of what we've been working on? Do you like to share kind of where they're at, or what's?
Well, number of us have prepared reviews, and I thought we were going to maybe look at those together on the screen. Am I imagining that?
Nope,
or-
I don't think we did all the chapters.
Yeah, if we have those to put on the screen, that'd be great. I've got highlights for mine. I could talk.
How many chapters were you guys wanting?
We were doing the
Just go
whole.
one at a
comp plan.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, we
remember
can't get
who
them
did
all.
the first.
I'll try.
All right,
So
I think
Can I-
Christine had 1, 2, 3 to,
can I make a suggestion?
yes.
Because we have a lot of items here, so we could drill on this and spend the whole time on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but I think we need to put either a time limit or a number of chapters or something, or else we probably won't get to these items.
Or defer till the next meeting and make that the whole discussion, maybe.
Mm.
or
Well, that's
Well-
March 11th, right? So anyway,
And I think that's,
have it in one whole discussion, because yeah, I agree, we could go the full
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah. we could get started on it and see how it goes, and let's say 15, 20 minutes, take.
I don't know. I just know we
Because
could,
with-
yeah. That's an easy thing
Some
to
of
do.
some of the other new business, I think will probably go pretty quick. So
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe go through the new business first and
Okay.
return. That's an option.
we could do that if we have a motion that you want to change the agenda and look at new business first.
That would be my motion.
Yeah, I'd second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
let's start with new business then. That's not a problem. And that's, first of all, to recommend to the city council our definition of sustainability to be put into the comprehensive plan.
Can we pop the definition up on the screen? Do you have that handy by chance?
Which one are you looking for?
The definition of
One that we
sustainability.
approved as a committee.
Yeah, I think in November.
In the first meeting.
Yeah.
The business first.
Yeah, I had the packet of your guys' stuff ready, so,
Okay.
yeah, I have it on my desktop. So.
Can you guys hear me?
Ability.
No.
And this is what I have saved from October. You guys think it's something different? Let me know.
We didn't change it much. Because we had a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
Can she talk yet? Christine, can you talk yet?
Can you hear me now?
Don't worry
No.
about it. She's on a computer. We can see you. You look lovely.
Dang.
Great. Thank you.
Say, meeting the needs of the present generation. For the present community. Like something's missing there of the present. What?
No, meeting the needs of the present
Yeah.
without compromising the ability of the future generations. So, I mean, we could put generations there, but it,
Or community.
well, but it is speaking of the present, meaning,
Now.
I mean, now,
I get
without,
that,
yeah.
present,
Well, it would be generation if
Seems
we
like
wanted
there
to
needs to be
repeat
a-
generation.
yeah, a noun
I
there.
think it's fine as it is. Personally.
This is what we came up with at the meeting, so.
And so this would be to propose that the council amends it in the context of the comp plan?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
In the definition.
And I did already tell the mayor that we had changed.
Yeah.
We just haven't,
Officially.
yeah.
Submitted it.
Mhm.
Well, I would entertain a motion that we present this definition to the city council to amend the comp plan to have it inserted into the definition of sustainability.
So move.
Moved. Second.
Me, yes,
Second.
second, sorry. Something had to come out of my mouth.
And I can do that.
Me go.
Me,
shows up
yeah, I don't
on
know.
the tape real well. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion's been approved, so Pam, at the
Yep.
next city
Got it.
council meeting.
Yeah, and on the,
Thanks.
I found the minutes that were approved at the November meeting, and it says sustainability, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainability has three dimensions: environmental, economic, and social. So just for clarification,
Yeah.
That's how
That's
this,
that's how it was
possible
put
that this
and
is how.
approved.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Okay, that's.
Accomplished.
that's 4-5, okay. The next item on the new business then would be to discuss a special meeting for March 11th.
Okay, what happened to?
No,
the
wait, we
second
have the
one?
recycling program initiative.
Oh, excuse me.
You missed
I-
five.
Yeah, you said we're done with 4 and 5, and I'm like, I don't think so.
I was reading that, sorry. Pam.
That's okay, because I
was reading
didn't,
that as you're taking it.
I didn't,
Go ahead,
no, I was presenting, but I can tell you what I've done.
okay,
I have a picture here.
the floor is yours.
I'll pass this around. You could look at the new recycling bins. So I was frustrated that we had no downtown recycling, no
Oh, so
downtown garbage. We have garbage on the
Those are
city
just like that.
beach. I spent a lot of time last summer watching the staff at the beach pick up the garbage, and a lot of it was
Goes in the
plastic
lake.
bottles
Yep.
and
Yep.
pop cans, which is the only thing we can recycle right now. So I talked to Jeremy, and then Heather got a hold of the Kalispell tribe, and we commissioned them to make these, and they're beautiful. And then I got Waste Management has donated sticker signs to go on top. And like I said, I didn't pay attention that I was presenting. I can show you another time. And they tell you what can go in and what can't go in. And they just have that hole.
Yeah, that's what you need. Yeah,
So
I was
that-
thinking about that.
It only
Yep.
fits that, and they
Uh-huh.
lock so that nobody can open them and stick in a
Something.
a pizza box, shred it and stick it in there. And so I also ordered, and I have not been told if they were here yet, actually. Inserts, Rubbermaid tubs inside so they can drop into the tubs. And we just open it up and pull the tubs out. And so I was planning on doing it in the spring when the weather changes, whenever that happens. And I've talked to Ben and Zach at the Reader, and they're excited, and they're gonna put an article in the Reader also explaining what can go in and what cannot go in. And I'm writing up a project proposal that I have not sent to the city yet, but it is all set I've got 12 of them to put around. And if they, I'm just gonna watch them. It's just a trial. I told them that next year I hope the budget has waste management helping pick up, because I don't want to, for the rest of my life, be picking up
Oh, you're
recycling.
gonna do it. That was a
Yeah.
question I
I
had.
am doing
Oh,
it,
wow.
and I'm going to elicit any help as anybody would like. I have friends that have already volunteered to help. Even if somebody takes like one can.
And then where does it go?
Here's the idea. Actually, Amelia Boyd, I talked to her about it. She donated her husband, who has a trailer, to collect all the plastic bottles.
Hmm.
And so what I plan on doing, and it could change, is getting separating the plastic from the tin. I'm going to let Pisney Panhandle Special Needs will come collect the aluminum, and they take it to Pacific Steel, and they'll get the
And they'll
money
get money.
for
$40
it.
bucks, yeah.
And then Amelia said her husband will haul on his trailer all the plastic
Cool.
bottles to waste management to the transfer station.
Do the kids at the high school have a requirement for community service, like a lot of high schools do?
That's
The
a good
alternative
idea.
high
I have
school
no
they do.
idea.
And-
Do they?
That would be a
Yeah,
really
good idea.
community
And
service
churches.
project. They have to do something and
Mhm.
it's community-wide and
Yeah,
it helps to build an ethic. of
I don't
recycling.
want to be a
I love
babysitter.
Right.
Is
Well,
all.
the teacher, whoever supervises
Right.
that program would,
I can check.
Yeah, that also builds, that ethic
What's his name?
within, like,
Yeah,
if their
them,
friends
yep.
are there at the city beach,
Mhm.
they're gonna be like, put your can
yeah.
in the recycling.
And yeah, we'll see how
So-
it works.
So
So
waste management won't drive around their recycling.
it's
You have to
not
pay
in,
for it.
it's not in their budget. It's not in our budget for them to do that.
They've
but
got
he's-
that- They've got that little truck that they can put that.
And I've talked to that gentleman at the beach, and he is all for it. He doesn't mind because he picks up,
He picks up all the garbage.
well, he just picks up at the city beach, the
Oh, Yeah,
dumps, the
the
belly
garbage,
dumps or
yeah.
whatever they're called, yeah. So yeah, they're gonna work with me.
Where are the what cans gonna be located? Recycling cans, where at in town?
I
Just
have
at
to
the
talk to
city.
Disney wherever they want them.
Oh.
Because they told me a long time ago that if I just collected 10 cans and put them in a receptacle, like at the beach next to their big green garbage, that they would come and pick them up. And so until I get it laid out,
Yeah.
get the inside cans, get the stickers put on and get help delivering them, I'm hoping that Austin's crew can help, because I'm not gonna put them in a truck and carry them by myself. But
So you're gonna pull the rubber part out
Uh-huh.
and then who's gonna sort the
Me-
cans? You're
me and
gonna
my
sort-
friends.
I'm
Yes.
just asking, so,
Yeah.
okay, that's how they'll
That's-
get sorted.
yeah, it's all volunteer right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
At this point, and just see how it works,
Yep.
see, it's a pilot program. is what
See if
I'm
you get a
calling
lot of garbage in there, that shouldn't be in there.
it. Yeah, and then we'll have to do
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
You'll get some, but
run in the
you know,
newspaper,
somebody or paper cup or
Yeah,
something
it
like
just-
that.
yeah.
It's gonna
which is
have-
hard because they're gonna think plastic cups recycle and they don't. It's
Yes,
gonna be an
Starbucks, yeah.
education.
Yeah.
It's educational. So and so all your ideas, like to talk to the schools, that'd be good too, because the kids, so my idea is one at all the parks. A couple at City Beach, a
Mhm.
couple at Memorial. I didn't bring that list. I have the list written out where I want them.
Okay.
I don't know how you would get in touch with them, but I know, like I said, so LPO has a requirement for
Okay,
community service, and then also I believe it's kids that are homeschooled have a requirement for community service in order to graduate.
okay.
I think
The issue
I
might
think
be
the,
driving, getting to the bins and that. If they're not driving, they're gonna have an issue, but it's worth it. I'll talk to them.
Yeah, but I mean, as a senior kid, even if you're homeschooled, the requirement is there nonetheless.
Right, well,
So I mean, where are you gonna do community service if it's not in town?
right, I'm
That's
just,
all.
if they're not driving, they're gonna have a hard time, in my opinion.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Going to the bin and collecting
Mhm.
and like I said, I don't wanna make it any harder than it is.
Sure.
Could
Parents
be
often
to
get
start.
involved though.
Yeah,
With community service requirements.
pilot, it's a pilot.
The other one to talk to might be the senior center. because a lot of the seniors are looking for little projects to do, and especially if you could have those delivered, brought to a spot, so where you could have the kids and seniors and everybody else come and help sort, instead of sorting each time you pull one out.
Yeah, we'll see how it works. I am just gonna start and try it
Yep.
and
Yeah.
change as
it's
it
a-
goes.
yeah.
Pilot.
Yep.
And like I said, where if I put one, like I was thinking at all the parks, if I put one at Hickory and it doesn't get it used, I'll move it. If I put only one at City Beach somewhere and it's overflowing, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yep.
flexible to start. But yeah, anybody that you have ideas, let me know. That'd be awesome. If you have the desire to help, let me know. That'd be awesome. Like I said, I have, every time I mention it to a friend, they're like, I'll help you. Like, okay.
If you have a volunteer list, I'm happy to help this sorting.
Oh, thanks. Okay, that'd be awesome. Awesome. And I will get that figured out. I just waiting for the Rubbermaid tubs inside, which reminds me I need to ask about those.
Mm.
And for the weather to change and get the stickers on. But if anybody's down at the city beach, you can see them. They're all outside by that shed there. That's awesome. Oh, they're gorgeous.
There, here, I have a picture of them. Heather sent me.
Yeah,
Sure you
I
have on
just,
your phone, yeah.
yeah. Did you see the one on my phone?
I love that you got it made
Yeah,
by the tribe.
okay.
It was just, I was
What's
just,
that?
I love that you got it made by
The
the tribe.
tribe. I know it's,
Put that in the reader article.
yeah, definitely. And it started because when I would walk around town, I would find a tin can
Mm.
or a plastic bottle and there's no place to put it. And I would carry it all the way home. And it's like, this is absurd.
Mhm.
I know we can do better. And then the mayor was all over it and it just went from there. So, yeah. Yeah,
Put them
Cool.
by boat ramps. Boat ramps.
exactly,
Yeah.
right? Because that's where they come
Yeah.
in with their pop cans. That's what I was thinking. I am sorry, I will bring that list where I thought I'd put them
Oh, look at that.
and share next time.
Those do look so
Great.
nice.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah.
I know, and
Very
I
cool.
need to get locks. Austin's like, oh, you don't need to lock them. It's
No,
like,
you
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
You do.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not locking them. Yeah.
Awesome.
Exciting.
Thanks for the update.
And what's cool is looking at all the past minutes that we received from Melissa. They all talked about recycling in town. It's like, yeah. We're getting there. We'll see. Yeah. I wish it was everything like glass.
Gotta start somewhere.
It's a start.
Mhm.
Cool. Katie.
Let's just hope that they still keep taking those.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because the future doesn't look good. But we can always paint them and call them something else. Wish, recycle wishes.
Well, even with recycling. Waste management will, and Spokane company in there. They like to have the plastics because getting the plastics buried, especially create heat and energy, and that's what they're looking for. Get it buried and get heat going so they can generate methane out of it, and also it'll, with the heat, decomposes a lot of other things real quick, so.
And they do use the methane. I've learned a lot working with waste management. Travis, he's amazing. Good. Yeah, they're good.
They hold,
And I just want to throw one other thing in those minutes, they also talked about a tour of the recycling place in Airway Heights, and Travis has invited me. I don't know how many can go, but
That's
I will let you know when they're waiting.
I'd love to
Okay,
go on that.
yeah, me too. Yeah, so I think so, when that comes about. He said probably summer, spring, early summer, so, which is another thing that the last committee talked about going to, and they didn't, so. We're kind of like a follow-up.
because Waste Management hauls all their stuff to Oregon, and Spokane, with it's United, it's there, they haul all theirs to Goldendale, Washington.
Stuff from here goes to Airway Heights. And then from there, they. distribute.
because there's only two major landfills and those are the two places. Up above the Columbia River on Oregon side and the Washington side. But yeah, it's very interesting. The one in Spokane or Seattle is massive.
I
And
bet.
you've got to, tell you what, you've got to have some really fast hands if you're working on their.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just in New Mexico and I did the tour of the Earth ships. Are you familiar with the Earth ships? They're built
Yeah, I've
out of
seen it.
recycled materials. There's 3 or 4 communities of homes
Right.
that are built with recycled materials. And they
Tires?
totally,
Are they?
tires,
Tires
and
and
bottles,
Kinds of things.
and they totally recycle all the water. They only get like
Right.
7 to 10 inches a year in Taos. And that's pretty much, they're not hauling in water. Water totally recycles through. They don't have to add, they are partially earth sheltered homes. They don't augment with any heat. They grow a lot of their own food in the systems. It's pretty amazing.
I met a woman who has one of those.
Can we stay on track?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
sustainable.
I'm talking about recycled materials.
It is, but it's
Should we move to
not
number six?
part
Let's go.
of-
Yeah, number 6.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah.
number 6. Our meeting, March 11th, are we still in the mood to have a building, meeting or is it necessary now?
Can I request a later time? I can't, I really, Tuesdays at 12:30 is really hard for me. I'm missing another class to come here. So I'm wondering if this extra meeting could be like 2 o'clock.
I won't be here.
I won't be here on the 11th either.
I don't
Yeah,
think I
same.
will either.
That's,
Oh,
that was the date that was
More
picked.
travel.
I didn't have to do that.
I didn't say I was available on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm available at 12:30. Sorry, I'm not available at 2. I moved a meeting, so
okay.
yeah.
I guess I never got the results of the doodle poll.
Yeah.
Cause it's more for committee members.
Oh.
And then it would be if I couldn't make the meeting, I
Yeah.
couldn't make the meeting if it worked for all of you guys.
Okay.
Well, I said that it didn't work. for me.
I hear
There were a
that. I'm
couple
just,
people that
that's
didn't.
where it lands for us, Pam. Is that
Yeah, that's fine. I
What
never
about-
saw the results, so
For
I,
the special
did
meeting,
not
what
save
about
that day.
for the Wednesday? I can make Wednesdays.
I'm on travel that week. So. Don't, but feel free to meet without me. It's no big deal, honestly.
Well, we just can't vote on any, well, we should determine what we're talking about. Like, if we're reviewing the sections of the comp plan,
Uh-huh.
there's no voting
Yeah.
Yeah.
with that.
And I can review it on my own. It's fine.
So, I mean, that's what we'll be doing. I mean, that's what the special meeting was originally talked about, was to give us more time to do that. So,
Well, how many people can make it? So it sounds like most can.
I can't.
So only 3 of us. I don't know. if it's
Christine's
worth it.
good.
and Christine can.
Well, did I miss somebody's
What
hand?
Wayne is for, right? If they change the time.
I could make it at 1:30. That would be the earliest I could.
I could do 1:30, but I'd have to leave early. It wouldn't be if I could be here.
So the issue with that is.
Yeah, and then you guys have your scheduling.
Well, mine. You have it on there tentatively. I was looking at Chamber's schedule.
Yeah, I did block it off.
Yeah, so I mean. If you guys wanted to move it to like, what'd you say?
I can make it at 1:30, but if you guys wanted to start at 1 o'clock, then I'd just be half an hour late and I could watch that online. I mean, that's what I'm doing now. I'm watching all the meetings online and then trying to catch up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something you guys gotta.
I
Work
guess
on.
it's, I mean, it's like any other meeting. We're always going to be missing somebody along the way.
Yeah. So if you guys are okay with that, then it just needs to get voted on whether or not it's going to be held at noon or 12:30 on the 11th. And I know I kind of already said this to Sam and Wayne, but if we don't have 4 members, then we will not have a meeting.
Right.
So.
In general, for me, I can make it here at 1:30, but is it worth it for me to come from 1:30 to 2 o'clock? Not like
Yeah.
coming in
Yeah,
blind,
yeah.
although I could be here if there were needed a quorum for a vote.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that would be on a regular basis that I'd be coming in at 1:30. But if it helps in any way, I can do it.
But right now, there's only three of us who can make it, unless I'm mistaken. Three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you two and Christine.
no other day works good for everyone else.
I could do Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday is already taken by Parks and Rec. You could do Wednesday at what time is that, Sam? 12? Wednesday is council is open from 12 to 2.
I can do that.
What if we do 12:30 to 2?
That's fine. I was just giving you the
Yeah,
time
I
slot.
got
Yeah,
that.
we don't have to use the whole
Yeah,
2 hours. It's just there.
so that's on the 12th, right?
Yeah.
We can make that.
Can more people attend on the 12th?
I can make that, so.
Christine, can you give us a thumbs up if you are able to make it on the 12th,
I think she's looking.
12:30?
Yeah, she can call in on her phone. I can put
Yeah.
that in the
So
chat.
Christine, so we have 4.
Yeah, 4.
Is there anybody else that would be?
I'm on work travel though.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's up to you guys if you want to make an action item for that special
March-
meeting,
Be March 12th then.
March 12th at 12:30.
12:30. 2.
Yep. That works.
Thank you. I'll be able to watch the video afterwards. It's recorded. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
commit to that. If I can't make the meeting, sorry.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion that we move the special meeting to March 12th at 12:30 to 2 o'clock.
I mean, I can motion, I won't be there, but I'll motion to move the special meeting to the 12th at 12:30.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Okay, then all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Okay, Christine's good.
Can you hear me?
Okay, then we'll change. that
No.
to- Well, okay, perfect. Okay, then the last item here on the new business, and this was Christina had been working on this one here, is to have Meredith Todd from the city of McCall, who's sustainability director there, come and speak to our committee, and or if she can't come, to be on Zoom to talk, give us a presentation. Does that sound,
Sounds great.
I will probably be on Zoom watching it too, because I have an opportunity to go do some exploring on sustainability, so.
And do we need to approve that one, or is
Yeah,
that
let's
just
approve it just so we
discussion?
get.
It's not an action item.
Yeah,
no, it's not an
It's
action
not
item.
an action item, but I think that's everybody in favor of having a presentation.
Sure.
Okay.
yeah. Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, I think that they're getting started. She's works part-time in the planning department and works part-time as their director. And so it might be interesting to see how they're approaching it. And they're a very similar committee to what we have, city that we have us. And so there may be some relevant information that comes out of that. And
We go back up to the comp plan.
yeah. That kind of follows up with what I'm working on too, because I've got somebody that I don't know if she can legally come and give a presentation yet, because she's had to sign 2-year agreement after working for the Canadian government and the Norwegian government on sustainability. So she's kind of hands are tied a little bit, but she's also the author of climate change books.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay, we'll go back now to the old business and discussing of our work that we were doing on the comp plan to review different chapters as how sustainability relates to those chapters and how the city is moving forward can incorporate that into their planning process, which I think ultimately come down to a sustainability plan for the city.
Yeah, I'll start with you, Wayne.
Start at the bottom and go backwards.
So we're not gonna go in order of plan.
Well, Christine had the first 3 chapters and not having her being able to talk might make it kind of difficult.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We can talk for her.
No, I didn't, yeah, no problem. So what, I'm sorry, I don't have that document. open. What are we looking at?
Okay,
I just opened Wayne's assessment letter.
Oh, okay.
chapter 12 is basically the work plan, if you want to call it implementation. I call it the work plan for the comp plan, different projects. And what I came up with basically, and going through all the details, but coming up with about 8 questions to ask for the projects are economical, social, or environmental. And those would be kind of a checklist to go through based on the different projects.
Wondering around checklists, whether when we start the sentence with does, it's like a yes, no
Oh,
question.
I just,
No, I think the checklist idea is great,
it's
but
just,
I'm
this is just a
wondering,
draft. So I just kind of quickly wrote things.
yeah,
down.
it's great, but if having a checklist, asking the person who's filling it out to say how, that's the activity.
This is
Some
what,
people explain it versus just going, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. and that might work too. This was kind of pulled together out of a couple other communities.
can I ask what activity? What do you mean by activity?
Which one?
All
All of them?
project.
I guess I'm looking at activity as a project of what program or what project or what are you doing right
Does the
now?
recycling program enhance economic
Yeah. I call it-
viability? Does the recycling
Yeah.
program ensure effective and efficient use of public funds?
Yeah.
So whatever the proposal is, does that activity
So what
maybe have a definition for activity?
And we can change the word too.
I
just-
change
yeah.
it to proposal or project.
I just,
I have a very elementary question. So I was given chapter 6 and 7. I can't find 6 and 7 in so the information that I was sent by Pam, right, and Katie, was just an overview. And then there's no 6 or 7 in that overview. So I don't know where to find the comp plan.
I thought I sent Sam the comp plan. I thought.
I just searched.
search version.
No, you're okay.
I'll send it. The one that I went through and just marked sustainability. And that wasn't in those chapters. So they weren't.
Okay, so I wasn't going crazy. I was looking all over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The comp plan is on the website.
Yeah.
And
If
I
you want
tried to.
somebody to show you how to
too,
find
but
that.
I didn't.
Maybe they can show you on the screen how to find that, all the plans.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I want to get clarity here. So were we? Because I thought we were talking about the comp plan. Now we're looking at a checklist. So is this the checklist by which we review the comp plan? Okay,
this, because I was given the chapter that has all these different projects and different,
okay, so this
items.
is chapter 12,
This is
even though
chapter
it
12.
doesn't say chapter 12. That's what was confusing me. That's why I was.
So you were given the
Okay.
list of implementation.
All right,
projects?
I'm gonna change the
Okay.
name for myself.
Yeah, yeah, which I guess we didn't think. There.
Okay, that's where I was like,
So if you
all right.
go to,
I guess I'm just, I'm trying to
departments,
pull up chapter 12. I'm just confused if the roll up of all of the checklists that we did for the other chapters, like, how does that then dovetail with this? If this is the roll up already? Are we,
What,
It doesn't.
I think what, just from my standpoint anyway, all the other chapters, yes, kind of lead into this
Yeah.
part of it.
uh,
But there may be, I mean, this, you might just totally throw this out and pick up items out of each chapter that might be more relevant to providing a checklist or an item to review or look at.
I guess
we don't have
that's
it
what I
on
thought we
Sample,
all
I have it,
did.
we'll just email it to you.
Can we pull up the implementation table so people can see
Yeah, it's very.
what we're talking about?
What am I opening?
Well,
The,
I
the
was,
kind of the,
Chapter
go ahead, Tim.
I was just hoping that you could show Diana how to find the comp plan and then look at,
Sam just sent it to her.
okay, I was thinking you would do it. That's okay.
I
Then
got
go
that.
to chapter 12.
I have a question, Pam, for
Oh,
you.
very short.
How were the implementation projects chosen?
They're just put out there by what, they're from the comp plan, but they're like, what can be done? So I say, if you bring it up, I can remember the terms. In 3 months and
Yeah.
6 months and a year,
So the comp plan itself, though, is kind of like the policies and the
the
vision,
vision.
but these are actual projects. So how
That's what-
did the city staff select those? Were they voted on? What was the political
That-
process?
That
to
was
come
put,
up with that
put together by the planning commission as part of the comp plan based off of projects and different programs that were either in the works or would be future based off of discussions that had been throughout the years, I guess, with the city.
So if you can look at something, get an idea. So it's actually the implementation table is what I was thinking.
Well, I remember looking at those when they did the workshops, the huge, the lists of them all. I'm just wondering about political process,
we
how they
didn't
were
do that.
selected.
Planning and zoning.
Yeah.
So they were approved for that list, but in terms of an actual project, if it comes into fruition, there's more political presentation to the community at large, or that they're all a done deal?
Oh, actually, none of them just say are a done deal.
Okay, that's what.
Could you, okay.
What do you want me to open? I opened the comp plan. Now where are we?
So
going?
chapter 12 is what
Okay,
is
that's,
what.
Yeah, that's what we were looking at. I'm just kidding. This doesn't actually suggest that there, I mean, if you go to the next page, that there's like, I don't, there's really nothing here.
There's an implementation table.
Yeah, but it's not in the
It's
plan
not
itself.
in
You have to
chapter
go
12.
to some other document to get to the implementation table.
Okay, so let's go to that.
So that's where there's also some confusion.
Oh, I see, appendix A.
Yeah, it's.
It's an appendix.
Right. So, but that's chapter 12. This talks about implementing projects. That's why that was a hard one. How could you did a great job.
So
With something.
potentially, sustainability could be like a subheading in those checks.
Well,
If we had a plan, if
Yeah.
there's a plan in place, yeah.
Appendix A, has anybody, did you look
I
at that?
pulled it up, it's, yeah, it's literally chapter by chapter.
That's
Of
what-
projects.
That's what I figured it was.
Yeah, I mean,
Where is that?
it's appendix A on the website, I think the question is, what I thought this time was we divided up the comp plan, people volunteered by chapter to create their version of a checklist. The content in those chapters, And then I thought the idea was we would all talk about those draft checklists and then whittle them down and make a single checklist that the council could use by which to assess the sustainability of Appendix A, it sounds like. Did I completely misunderstand these?
No, not at
I
all.
don't think so.
And that's,
I think you got it.
that's why I was looking at the checklist.
All right, I'm with you. Perfect.
So if I may suggest or ask, could we use that like with every chapter? Like looking at what people came up with, sustainability questions.
I don't think you
Just-
have one for everything.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is why you can't really see it probably on that there, but it's big draft across the front.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, it's an idea. It's
Yes,
great.
that's Appendix A, that's your,
yeah.
So there's your implementation.
yeah. So maybe we shouldn't start with 12, we should look at
Right.
last after we look at the other chapters. And then we
So do
can
you
add in
understand?
anything from 12 that's missing.
That's why I was wondering why I was first.
Sorry, it took me too long to get there.
Right here.
With Christine not being able to present her part. So we
Yeah.
have to start with the next.
Chapter 4,
Yeah,
I think 3 and 4 were me,
1,
or
you
4
had 4 and 5.
4 and 5,
Right.
yeah. And I'm not sure that I reviewed, I did my questions within the context that you folks did, but you know, maybe it'll be useful, maybe not,
Yeah,
but we can look at what I did. I looked at the.
I think it's just useful for us to look at a area of a plan and see, okay,
Yeah,
I know I'm not clear about.
Right.
What exactly we're trying to.
so I read
So my
those
opening-
chapters and came up with questions that I had reading those chapters.
4 and 5.
Yeah. So I think I'm next in chronological.
Sharing my screen.
thank you for control.
Hopefully some of what I wrote is useful.
Well, sure.
Oh, it
it
will be.
is.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I guess I looked at questions more related to the city's own. How the city looks at sustainability versus projects coming in.
So if I may, when I looked at this, I'm wondering who would we ask to answer those questions? Right, and where in the city, what staff, what department?
I think that's where ultimately a sustainability plan, basically just like the transportation plan and all the other ones. City would have a plan like that that would answer those questions. Would answer basically all the questions that we're going to raise based off of the reviews of those chapters.
And so again, if I may, Christine has asked if anybody in the city staff is she didn't call it a champion, a sustainability. Wasn't a champion, can't remember her word.
I put in the chat, maybe.
A person who would take on that position of being the champion for sustainability in the city, which we don't have funding or staff for that, but that was what I think Christine was hoping, like Haley has and McCall has. I think is that correct, Christine? Just, which is an interesting thought that would be nice in the future to have, because these are more staff questions.
That's how I was interpreting the assignment is, how is the city addressing
Right.
sustainability?
Mhm.
Like kind of cleaning up its own world versus outside projects coming in, starting there.
I think that that's
Yeah.
going to lead exactly what she had to say. Ultimately, with a plan in place, who's going to administer that plan in part of the city?
Yeah.
And who's step up or who in the city may feel that they want to take that challenge. I guess it's.
Well, it's a significant.
It's a job.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's
it
a
is.
job.
It is very much.
And we
It's
do
not
not
like
have,
an add-on.
there is no staff at this point, but that might be interesting when the McCall individual shares how they came up with.
Yes.
Well, like a couple of these, for example, are related to parks and park management, right? And
Right.
those are questions that the Parks Department could answer.
So that's a good one. And I guess I could say some of those questions, like you're talking about purchasing, those things come before the council. That could be like, I don't know, when monetary issues are approved by the council, is there a checklist for that?
Right, a lot of sustainability programs have sustainable purchasing policies.
And because we just had a discussion about purchasing. And it would be nice to have a guidance, the guidelines. to the council.
I think it's cold in this room.
Yeah, I'm not leaving.
Okay, I'm done.
Exactly. Thanks, Benny.
And see, so again, to go back up. Like the composting is something I'm trying to work on. Trying to organize a compost, a public-private compost in the city somewhere, which I've also talked to the mayor about, and he also supports. It's again, I've been talking to Haley because they have one. And how they set up, how they're doing it, so I'm trying to find out that information. And they have actually, in fact, Jeremy went to Haley and I haven't had a chance to ask him what he learned about their collecting compost. I do know, I've talked to the person down there, they have purchased, the city has purchased those big, like, we use them for storage, the big metal bins that you can buy. Or
Containers.
rent containers, yeah. And they allow the city people to go put their compost in there. And then they, somewhere in the city, they pick them up and take them to the compost facility. So they've enlisted all the citizens to bring their vegetables, their composting materials in there. And then there is a private composting facility across from the transfer station. But they've been doing this for a long time, so it starts, in my opinion, or what I've been trying to find out is a composting facility. You need property, you need equipment, to turn. And I know we send our leaves and some of the waste, sludge to Woods, which is a place to start. And I thought about talking to him, but he uses it to put in his fields to grow, which is awesome. Which would be what we were thought of doing. However, the leaves, once they're in the street, they're contaminated.
Yeah.
And the sludge is an interesting process, but they do that in Haley. They lay it all out to dry, and then utilize it in their compost. Anyway, that's I like that question. That's because that is something that would be awesome. Because think about all the garbage that's thrown. But
Yeah,
then again, you go to the methane, and that's what Travis was telling me too. They like the methane gas because they're utilizing it. So it's
That helps offset the cost.
it's quite a process.
I do my own compost, but,
Me too.
I know a lot of people in town are always asking me, oh, well, can I give you my compost? I'm like, no, because I can
It's a
only
lot,
do
right?
what I have. But you said that there's a private composting?
In Haley, there's a
Oh,
business,
yeah.
right?
How about here? I thought there was at one point, they did do some composting here.
Not that I know of. point, you know?
No,
I know that-
we did it at a big scale with with people that were sellers at farmers market years ago.
Hmm.
Totally separate. It was private here again.
One of the minutes in one of the meetings, they also talked about posting. If nobody has had a chance to read those minutes from the old sustainability committee, there's a lot of good information.
Be on the, just the website?
She's.
Yeah, she sent
she's-
them out.
I copied them all so that I could
Awesome.
highlight things because it's just how I do
Awesome,
it,
thank
but-
you.
And that could be something on another agenda too.
Lincoln County in Washington have a large composting program.
You connect with the person
Yes. No, I have not.
So,
Because you said
yeah,
he was,
There's definitely a lot of interest. I know that because like I said, everybody asks me, can you take my
Right.
comments?
Yeah,
I do know that Michaela Sundquist tried with her sustainability committee to get a small compost started at the community gardens. And I'm not sure how that panned out because
We
there's not
never,
much room.
so I can tell
Did
you
you
what
try to
happened.
do that?
Yeah, so should we be talking about this? I feel like we.
We're
don't-
We're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't
Bringing us back a little bit, you guys,
Okay.
we have less than half an hour.
Yeah, so if there's interest, I know somebody who has a company and they work with municipalities to design municipal composting system, and perhaps they would be willing to give us a presentation on that
That would be
topic.
great.
But I think we should stay at a high level right now versus drilling down into individual.
But it is one of your questions. So if that's what we were supposed to do with these questions was think about them, analyze them, how do they fit? That's where I was going with that one.
Right.
That's fair.
Well, but I could be quiet.
No,
You know,
I just
no,
wanna make sure no offense to any of you guys, I just feel like we squirrel a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make sure we stay on task.
Yes. Isn't that the task? To look at our questions?
Well, maybe looking
The,
at
the task was to
everybody's-
discuss committee suggestions and goals. For this, I thought.
That was,
Yeah, because if we're gonna go through each one of these, that's our job for.
Yeah,
and maybe what we might as well do is look at forming a couple of committees and letting those 2 or 3 people on the subcommittee,
we need,
that's
we
all.
need staff support to answer these questions,
a lot of
right?
them we do.
Yeah, this is just high level. I think, I mean, what I'd like to do is to see how everybody addressed this issue, and we just kind of go through it high level, and then we decide what we're gonna do. Versus, picking individual ones right now. But I will talk to, if there's interest, I can get a presentation.
Yeah, I think that anybody that's got interest like that.
I'd be happy before the next meeting to basically make a little comparison document, because I think everyone's probably framing it slightly differently and we can email it around. And that way it's like something we can kind of look at and figure out. It'd probably be a spreadsheet of some, I don't know, I'll figure it out, but like, I'm happy to take that if that's helpful, especially since I won't be at the next meeting. It could give a resource for everyone to look at. And then use as a discussion document if that works. Just trying to keep this moving.
I feel like.
I'm curious, though, if we're doing this, doing all the work, and we're not gonna discuss it, then what's,
No, you will, but
I
okay,
think we need to be discussing it just to see how, because there's gonna be parts of it, okay, we don't worry about that, but there are parts that we really want to look at.
I think there's also some overlapping when I skimmed the files that got shared. There's similar questions in a couple of different chapters, and so I'll try to synthesize it all for
And
folks.
then, and I think that you're gonna find that every chapter is pretty much gonna have some of the very similar questions,
Mhm.
just gonna be
Exactly.
phrased differently.
so then how are we going to utilize what Mary did already? Just, are you going to go ahead and summarize it, or?
No, I think that once everybody's got it done, if they could send it out to everybody, we can make our comments that way too and send them back as a.
We could do that too, and we have everyone's except for.
I haven't done
chapters
chapter
6 and 7.
10 yet.
And I haven't done chapter 6 and 7.
So I think once we get that and get sent out to everybody and have everybody take a look at it,
Okay.
review that. I mean, I've looked at everything that's come out so far.
Yeah.
And you're right, there's a lot of overlap on it. There's gonna be, but a lot of it has pieces that I think would fit into a very good long-range plan.
Okay,
Those worded a little bit differently maybe, but I think that that's kind of how we're gonna end up, is that you're gonna take some of the best of the comprehensive plan ideas that are places that you really want to look at and put it back into a long-range sustainability plan. That Pam is gonna chair.
okay, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep, but so then everybody's gonna read everybody else's plan.
Yeah.
And are we gonna pick out items that we think are very important or like to discuss? Or what's?
I think it just you review them and see how they fit with what you've done and how, I think we can have a better discussion knowing that, okay, there's 4 items up here that are really, we
Okay.
need to focus on very strongly because they fit with my stuff and this stuff. But I've actually I've highlighted some of what's in there.
Okay, so is that a by March 11th task? Because that's what we're supposed to be discussing by March 11th.
Well,
12th,
March
sorry,
12th.
we moved, sorry, I got it, it's March, I'm sorry. For our next meeting,
Yes.
We could get it done by then.
okay?
I'm not sure we can, but we can sure try.
I can send you around the document long before the 11th or 12th. Whether or not folks can read it. It's up to you guys. I won't be there, but it'll at least be a contribution. And then everyone can read everyone's files as well. So,
Thank you.
So you're gonna come up with like a matrix and organize, and then we'll
yeah,
put in
like
comments.
theme, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I hopefully speed the discussion along. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can do that.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah, no big deal. At least I can do since I won't be there. I'll try to dial in, but probably not. To be
Well, and
honest.
that way, if we can't be there, we can at least contribute written comments
Yeah.
for discussion purposes. You know, if it's available before then,
Yeah, yeah.
I can take time to do that.
Sounds great.
And
Thank you.
Yeah.
don't feel bad about sending staff written comments so that they can send them out to all the
Yeah, the
committee
file will
members,
go
because
to you guys and you can.
the more information we have out there that everybody's doing, the quicker we can move forward to do it. So
Yep.
May I ask
So when you
city
say written,
staff when you would like?
when you say written comments, and I'm sorry, I'm so questions. So many questions. When you say written comments, do you mean comments after we review everything that we want to add? Like if we observe something in the city and we want to just comment on it ourselves, or are you just?
I, not in the city, I think we need to stay on the comp plan right now, part of it that we're working on. Because otherwise we can,
Comments on the materials
On the
that we're
materials that we're
generating,
working
yeah, about the content.
there will be opportunities to get into this, the city part of it later.
Okay.
Okay.
May I ask city staff people when they would like? Is there a deadline? Is there a time frame for you ladies? When people want to send something to be posted?
Wednesday before the meeting,
So the-
because Sam has to have the agenda up by Thursday. So getting it to
Okay.
her on Thursday is cutting it way too close.
Okay, so the previous Wednesday.
A week before the meeting.
Okay,
Essentially, yeah,
Yeah,
for this
thanks.
upcoming meeting, it would be a week before it.
okay,
For future meetings,
that just helps.
just the
That's
Wednesday
enough.
before.
So that'd be Wednesday, March 5th.
That's next week.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And
And that will help
That's
with
okay
your
for you?
matrix too, right?
yeah, I'll have that.
Put your,
Yeah, I'll do it this weekend.
That gives you Thursday to.
but then you'll need all of the information from us beforehand. I didn't do mine yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll use what we already have available and if you, and you can always add to it.
Okay.
You know, whenever,
I'll do
whenever it
before-
comes
I'll do it
in
before
or.
this weekend.
Yeah.
So Katrina does the
Cool.
matrix this weekend, and then I would have a couple days to get it in by Wednesday, which I can do.
Yeah, the idea is I could send it and then I don't know, I can see this since, I don't, one of you sends out the information, they would send it out, I assume Monday when they showed up in the office and it was in your inbox or your inbox. And then everyone would have it, because I don't have everyone's email, but sure the staff does. Yeah, that's my hope, is they would be ready to go out the door when they walk in on Monday. Cool, thanks, guys.
Thank you, yeah.
Anything else we should circle on or?
Well, should we discuss any more on this comp plan stuff then, or just wait until next meeting and,
I think we should just wait.
I think we wait till the
I
next
think we
meeting.
wait, yeah. I move to adjourn,
okay,
anything else?
Are we adjourning early?
Potentially.
Oh, okay.
You can
I
adjourn.
mean, if there's other things.
The,
to
the
talk
meeting
about,
is
sure.
scheduled till 2. You don't have,
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you guys if you would like to adjourn early.
It's up to
Do we
you.
want to look at any more
That's
that's
up
what I
to you.
was asking.
besides?
It seems
Steve,
that
just
everybody
to
wants
kind of
to wait.
see how,
Up to you guys.
I mean, I'm up, I can leave, but I'm up for doing that too.
I
If
can do
people are
that.
interested.
I'll be here.
I'm here till 2, so it's up to you guys if you want to
We'll
continue.
pull up some more of them then, just so we can get an idea. Everybody can get an idea.
I'd also say some of those things are in code. So knowing where to the answers, I guess.
Right.
So you want me to go to 8? Since we're missing 6 and 7? Or what would you guys like?
Yeah, go to, just go to what you have.
Well, I just want to know which ones, because I opened yours and then I was told.
Oh, go back to mine too.
Who drafted this one?
That was mine.
Okay.
So this chapter is on public facilities, services and utilities. So the focus of the questions are all about those topics. Self-explanatory, but if anyone has questions, happy to try to answer. The sub bullet there was because there was discussion in the plan about undergrounding, power lines, which is super expensive, and there's an ethos of like only dig once. This is just asking if you're gonna dig in the streets. Has there been a strategic plan about utilizing that opportunity for other things? So that's the only sub bullet that I had.
Here, basically the checklist to kind of go through.
That's it. And so like you had, in Mary, you had something about tree protection or trees and things. So that's what I was saying. I think there's definitely some themes. And composting as well, so,
And sustainable material.
yeah. Yeah, so I think we can bucket these probably in a few categories.
Good, you did another one.
Yeah. Done.
This is mine. I did chapter 9 and, hold on. So I did a little review of the chapter because it's a complex chapter, at least for me, maybe sometimes because I know a bit too much about this area. And so a few things that stood out to me was the income disparity, particularly with new versus long-term residents. And the housing stock here has been a constant pain. But I also know, I don't know what Sandpoint can do about it. I've been to so many economic meetings about this topic and I don't know. Another thing is we have a number of urban development renewal areas that are sunsetting in 2029. So I don't know if Sandpoint's looking at what else to do around that. because they do help us a lot with various projects within those areas. And then and so all of these, so I didn't use the word sustainability with these, but all of these for me are sustainability issues. So does Sandpoint have a plan for maintaining and educating our workforce? So for me, a lot of these are outside the bounds of the city. So that's what was hard for me with this section. Because,
But they're not really out. They're still part of the overall
okay,
community, because the city's the community. We're not
Okay.
looking at city hall. We're looking at community.
okay, all right. That probably number 3 was one of the biggest missing areas for me was there didn't seem to be much in there about maintaining and educating our workforce. And as I was thinking about that, that led me to the next one, which is most of our young people leave. And how can we get them, if they leave for education, fine, but how do we get them to come back? Because if we could we have such a turnover in workers here. Some of it's due to the tourism, we're so heavily dependent on tourism. But, to me, that's sustainable. Like, how do we have people stick around, the young people? Because we're an aging community. And it shows in this particular area, it shows because our biggest sector of the economy is healthcare.
Yeah.
Now, part of that's because we're central to Bonner County. So if you're not going to go to Coeur d'Alene, probably going to end up here. But it's still really outsized. And that's where I ended up. I probably will add more. So I touched on what I thought were the key areas within those things, and I could ask a lot more questions. The section itself was really well done. It really well done.
A lot of time spent on.
There was a lot of time spent. It was really apparent, yeah. And there is stuff going on, so I know about stuff that's happened since that conference. Like there is a workforce, or I don't know what you want to call it, committee that was put together to focus on NIC and getting more students enrolled in Sandpoint, because seem to have drop off the NIC radar. So and that just happened last year. So there are.
Keep you nice.
Right. Well, NIC just got approved. They're no longer under threat of being shut down.
What about this one?
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh, Pam, this is yours.
Okay. You can see, you can read it.
Hold on a little bit.
Natural resources and hazards.
There's an herbicide question in yours. You have to find an overlap there.
And again, it's asking questions about the goals.
Yeah.
Here again, that checklist.
Yeah.
Do that project.
Short chapter, thank you for signing. We already touched on a little bit.
Yeah, it's this.
Christine had checklists too.
1 through 3.
1 through 3.
But we figured.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
That's all we've kind of been doing anyway.
being kind of yes or no questions. It's a good.
Yeah, I
That
think
is what we were doing, was questioning.
Yeah. And there's that more global question of, is our focus going to be on city itself, getting its own house in order? Or on projects coming in, city or both?
I say both probably. I think more so the city because our duties specify city, but at the same time, it's talking about how the city reacts to the community.
Right. We probably have more leverage on the city itself as an institution.
You know, if you go look up some of the big companies and look up basically their checklist to do some of their projects and things like that. It's over 100 pages on the checklist. Big companies that you're gonna do that project, these all have to say yes. If they don't say yes, you don't do the project.
We went through them all, right?
Just quickly, yeah.
You
And
guys
those
do
are all-
have to call it. You have to.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, we moved and seconded, the meeting has been adjourned at 1:56.
See you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thank you.